Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling something I know a lot of you find challenging, maybe even a bit daunting. But honestly, after we dove into our source, Solo English Fluency, a complete guide, it really seems, well, entirely doable. We're talking about becoming fluent in English, like truly fluent, all by yourself. Okay, let's unpack this. Our mission today is to pull out the absolute best techniques, the daily habits, and also how you can use the internet. It's all in the guide. We want to give you a really clear roadmap for mastering English on your own terms.
Yeah, and I think what's really freeing about this approach is understanding that learning solo, it actually works. It's really effective if you have a system. And the core idea, which kind of goes against what maybe we used to think, is that consistency. It's way more important than how long you study each time, like biologically important for your brain. It's about, building those connections every single day, not just cramming. Even short daily practices add up to, well, huge progress over time.
That's such a good point, and it leads us right into the first big principle. You need a consistent daily English routine. And the guide gets really practical here. It suggests setting aside, say, 30 to 60 minutes every day. Yeah. And breaking it down, like 10 minutes for listening, 15 for reading, 10 minutes just speaking out loud, and maybe 15 minutes for writing short things. It's about getting into that rhythm.
Exactly. And the why for daily listening, it's pretty deep, actually. It's not just about vocabulary. Your ears literally get trained. You start picking up the rhythm, the intonation, how the language actually flows. And a lot of this happens kind of subconsciously. You just absorb the right pronunciation, the sentence patterns. It's like building this internal sound map. So the guy suggests things like podcasts as the English We Speak or ESL Pod are good examples. YouTube channels too, like Speak English with Mr. Steve or BBC Learning English. Loads of options there. Oh, and English music. Great idea to read the lyrics while you listen. That adds another layer. Audiobooks work too. Maybe start with kids' books. They're usually a bit simpler. And a really practical tip, start slow. Easy listening first, and definitely use subtitles if you need them. No shame in that. It helps grasp the meaning.
I love that. Building it into your day so naturally. It connects perfectly to this idea of creating your own mini English world. This isn't just passive stuff. It's about actively surrounding yourself. Daily immersion. And the source has some brilliant, super actionable tips. Things you can do right now, like set your phone to English. All your apps too. Change your YouTube language settings, your Netflix settings, even physical stuff like putting little labels on things in your house. Door, mirror, fridge. Sounds simple, but it works. And one I really like, just talk to yourself in English whenever you can. Might feel a bit strange at first, I get it, but it really helps cement things.
So what's the big picture with all this? What does creating this environment actually do? Well, you're essentially making English the default language for how you interact with, well, everything around you. And that creates this amazing compounding effect. Think of it like a snowball rolling downhill, getting bigger. The more you naturally see English, hear it, use it in daily life, the faster your brain processes it without effort. It stops being the separate subject you study and becomes just part of your normal existence, reduces that mental effort of constant translation.
That's a really powerful way to think about it. And okay, immersion is vital, but we absolutely have to talk about the active part. Speaking, our source is really clear on this. Speaking is the key to fluency, even if you're just speaking to yourself. And they give some fantastic, practical ways to practice speaking alone, stuff you might not have thought of. There's mirror talk. Literally, talk to yourself in English in the mirror each morning. Or just verbally describe your day. Simple stuff. I woke up, I brushed my teeth, now I'm eating breakfast. Like a running commentary. Then there's the shadowing technique, which is really effective. You play some English audio and you immediately repeat it like you're mimicking an actor. And, this one's important, record your voice. Listen back. Catch your own mistakes.
Right. And it's so common, isn't it, to feel kind of shy or self-conscious about speaking, especially when you're alone, which sounds odd, but it happens. But the guide puts it really well. No one is listening, so don't be afraid of mistakes. And this ties into, a bigger learning insight. Making mistakes isn't just okay. It's essential. It's how you learn. Your brain actually learns more effectively when it has to correct an error. It makes that connection stronger.
Exactly. Mistakes aren't failures. They're like data points for learning. Good way to look at it. And speaking of active engagement, let's talk reading. Daily reading. The guide shows how powerful this is because it hits multiple things at once. Builds your vocabulary, improves your grammar, helps you see how sentences are structured naturally, and the source suggests easy places to start, like children's storybooks. The Little Prince is a classic example they give. Or simple English news sites. There's News and Levels or Breaking News English. They're designed for learners. Comic books, graphic novels. Those work too. lots of dialogue. Or even just reading the subtitles while you watch videos in English. And here's that practical tip again, tying back to speaking. Read aloud. It really helps your pronunciation muscle.
Definitely read aloud. And, alongside speaking and reading, we can't forget writing. It's often underestimated, I think. But our deep dive showed how writing just, say, 5 sentences a day, it significantly boosts your memory and your fluency. It forces your brain to actively retrieve words and build thoughts in English. Really reinforces what you're learning. The guide offers some great varied prompts, too. Things like keep a daily journal in English, or write down your dreams, maybe your goals, little creative stories. Whatever interests you. You could even comment on English YouTube videos. That's real-world practice. Or look up online writing prompts like describe your best friend in 3 sentences. Simple stuff to get you started. Plus, they mention using free tools like Grammarly. Super useful for checking your grammar quickly. Gives you that instant feedback loop.
It really is incredible how much is out there, often for free. The guide really hammers this point home, the sheer number of tools and apps, and how they can make learning by yourself not just possible, but actually kind of fun and structured. They list specifics like Duolingo, the game-like app for vocab and grammar basics, BBC Learning English, great for news, structured lessons. Then there are apps like HelloTalk or Tandem. Those are for actually chatting with native speakers. Language Exchange, Google Translate, obviously useful, but they do add a note. Use it wisely. Don't rely on it too much. And Youglish.com. I love this one. It lets you hear how words are actually used in real YouTube videos and different accents too. The main idea here is just using your phone smartly, turning those little bits of free time, waiting for a bus, whatever, into productive English time.
And this connects to maybe one of the most powerful habits of all for fluency. Actually starting to think in English. It sounds like a big leap, maybe, but it makes such a difference because you start bypassing that step of translating in your head all the time. The guide gives some really concrete starting points, like just start naming things around you in your head. This is a chair, that's a fan. Simple internal narration. Or when you're walking somewhere, think to yourself in English, the sun is hot, I'm going to eat lunch soon. You can even ask and answer your own questions internally. What should I do next? Okay, I need to buy milk. Again, that crucial point. It's okay to make mistakes in your head. Nobody knows. It's your mental sandbox. Just let the thoughts flow.
Thinking in English, yeah, total game changer. And of course, if you're going to think in English, you need the words. Which brings us to building vocabulary effectively, and the guide recommends using flashcards. Our deep dive explains how learning new words consistently every day really builds your confidence and just lets you express more. You can use apps for this, Anki, Quizlet, Memrise, or popular ones mentioned, but here's the key takeaway. Don't just learn the word. Learn it in a sentence. Aim for maybe 5 new words a day, but always with an example sentence showing how it's used. Like the example in the guide. Word, surprise. Okay, fine, but learn it as, she gave me a surprise gift. That context makes it stick.
That context is everything. And what's really insightful is how mimicking native speakers directly helps you sound more natural. The guide talks about watching TV shows or movies and actually repeating lines. It explains that this direct imitation, it's key for picking up the natural rhythm, the intonation, the tone. Things that are hard to learn from a book. It builds muscle memory for your mouth. They suggest a specific method. Pick one line from a show, pause it, repeat it exactly, try to copy the actor's tone and speed. Practice just that one line until it feels and sounds natural coming out of your mouth. And they even give show recommendations. Friends for fun, everyday English, Modern Family for more natural, sometimes overlapping speech patterns, and Extra English, which they specifically point out, is slower, designed for learners. This kind of focused practice really drills in those authentic speech patterns.
That is brilliant advice, seriously practical. And to really boost your learning even more, the guide throws in some bonus tips. We thought these are great, like joining online communities. They specifically mention Reddit, the English learning subreddit, and Facebook groups too, like English Practice Group or Learn English Daily. These are places where you can ask questions, practice writing a bit, connect with other learners, and sometimes native speakers. Also, watching English shorts, those quick, like 1-minute videos on grammar or vocabulary, they suggest practicing, repeating, and shadowing the speaker even in those short clips. Quick, easy practice bites.
The shorts are great. And the final bonus tip, something that's often missed, but so important. Track your progress. The guide explains how just using a simple journal or an app to jot down what you learned each day makes a difference. But maybe even more important is celebrating the small wins. Did you understand a song lyric you didn't before? Did you manage to think in English for 5 minutes straight? Acknowledge it. That celebration keeps you motivated. It keeps you consistent. It's not just about ticking boxes. It's about building that positive momentum for the long haul. That sustainable mindset.
That's the perfect wrap-up for the practical side. So bringing all this together from our deep dive today, the main message is really powerful. You honestly don't need a formal teacher to get fluent. What you need is that consistent, structured system you build for yourself. And the tools. You've already got them. Your phone, a mirror, a notebook, your own voice, they're right there. I love how the guide concludes this section. It really nails it. Every day you practice, you're one step closer to fluency. Simple as that.
It really is.
Yeah.
And maybe one final thought to leave you with, something to chew on. Think beyond just, learning a language.
Mhm.
When you achieve English fluency, especially independently, think about what that unlocks. Entirely new worlds of information you can access directly, unfiltered, different cultures you can understand on their own terms, connections with people you couldn't communicate with before. It's not just about mastering a skill, is it? It's about stepping into this whole new dimension of, self-discovery and engaging with the world in a much bigger way. It really goes far beyond just words.
Wow, that's a fantastic thought to end on. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive today. We really hope this roadmap gives you the confidence and the tools to start or continue your journey to solo English fluency.